everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather. Today is Saturday, April the 8th, 2023, so tomorrow is Easter. So today I'm actually doing some Easter baking. So I have the silicone mold cake pans, got the cross, and I have the egg. So when you cook them, you can either make 2 half eggs or you can make 1 3D egg. So I've got my pans ready. I just have to spray them with the cooking spray. I've got my oven preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now these eggs, because they roll, they have these little silicone bases. So you have to put the egg on the base so they don't. So your cake, it bakes level. And then also to help it in the oven, you put them on baking trays. I've got them right behind me, ready to go. So I'm making 2 cakes. So I'm going to start with the spice cake mix. This is going to be for the cross. I'm going to make it like a spice cake with a cream cheese icing. Make this open. So I'm just using box cake mixes, and they say water or milk. I'm using milk. Pour in the cake mix. Let me just turn my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And to this I need 1 cup of, well, this is 1 cup of water, but I'm going to use 1 cup of milk. And this one says I need 1/3 of a cup of oil. And I'm using the olive oil. Mine's light in flavor, so it's a little bit different. I actually like a different brand. This one's okay, but the one I like they didn't have, so I went with this one. So it is a lighter taste to it, but and the color is a little bit different too. It still works, still just olive oil. And we need 3 eggs. Didn't mean for that to go flying across the floor. Okay. Didn't want the eggshell to go in the cake mix either. I'm just going to quickly mix this up. No, I like the wooden spoon better for this one. Yeah. My daughter should have handed me a whisk, but when I'm doing the spice cake, I don't know, this one I prefer the wooden spoon. I usually do use the whisk. Alright, because I could have grabbed the hand mixer as well. There we go, got it all mixed. So I'm just going to set this aside and grab this pan. So this one is the spice cake, and I'm doing it in the cross. And I'll just set this one aside. And I will quickly make the cake mix for the other one. which I am making it in the devil's food. These silicone cake pans I've had for probably almost 12 years now. It's been about that since I was selling Avon. So that's where I got them from. If anybody was wondering, I don't know if Avon still sells them, but I have seen the egg ones at secondhand stores. But I don't know if, don't directly know if Avon still makes them or sells them. But they are, easy to find, the egg ones. I'm not sure about the cross one. That one I only have one. I actually have a second set of the egg, as I was able to find a second set at a secondhand store. I'm trying to read this. My mom gave me a new measuring cup, and I'm just trying to find the quarter cup measurements. Oh, it's on this side. So for this one, I need 1 1/4 cup of milk or water. I loved making them with milk. And then I need 3 eggs as well. And this one I need 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And mix this up really good. Yeah, sure, I'll take a whisk for this one. It's easier, but just... So for this one, I'll do, make sure my things are level. And even, and I'll pour 1/2 of the batter in each one of the eggs. I'm trying to get them as even as possible. Now, I said my oven is preheated at 350 degrees, so I'm going to put these in the oven, and I'll be back in probably about 30-40 minutes, depending on how long it takes for these to bake. Shape pans, I always find, vary depending on, you're using less cake mix in these ones than a normal cake, but because they're so thick, they might take a little longer to cook. They might take a little less time to cook. Anyways, I'll be back in about 1/2 an hour when the cakes are cooked. Okay, welcome back. I've got my cakes out of the oven. This cross took about 35 minutes. And the 2 eggs took like about 42 minutes, and they weren't perfectly level, so they kind of did tip a little bit in the oven. I don't know if it had something to do with my pan, I've got one of my baking sheets, does a funny thing when it gets heated, it kind of bends funny. So I'm thinking that's probably what happened. Or I just didn't have it, after I filled them, I just still didn't have them centered quite correctly on the little thing. Anyways, this one overflowed a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just giving them a couple minutes to cool down, and then I'm going to be flipping them upside down onto my cooling rack. And I will be back when it's time to make the icing. These are probably going to take about 2 hours to cool down. So I'll be back in about 2 hours to ice my cakes. All right, so welcome back. So now I'm going to do my icing of my cakes. So the first one I'm going to do is the Easter egg one. So here's this one half and the other half. I just want to see if, I will have to cut some of this down. I know that I just want to see how good it will look as a big giant Easter egg. Because I'm trying to decide if I wanted to make an easy way to do it is just doing 2 half cakes like this, or if I actually want to make it in the big 3D cake, which I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 3D cake. So I have to go and get my cake level slicer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got this little tool here, and there's 2 little wires on it, and you get to decide, you know, slicing your cakes, how thick or thin do you want them. Now, I'm not using it to cut through the cake. I'm just trying to get these on, these to move down. That, and I'm just going to use this and just level the cakes out. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And of course, I moved them the wrong direction because I was holding it wrong. I have not had a chance to use this. I've had this for quite a few years. So this is going to be fun to be able to use this. That's too low. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I just broke the wire. What? No, it just came off the wrong. Okay, let's see. Oh, supposed to cut through the cake nice and slow. It's supposed to.
You're too, look at the angle. This.
I know, I'm just. Okay. Well, let's lift this off. Well, it's made it more level. We'll have a nice, more level area to work with. So I'm just going to put this one on here. Set this one aside. I've got my, this was a tub frosting, chocolate tub frosting. I can lift this up for some reason, my hand. There, so I was just mixing it in so it's nice and creamy. Now there's not enough in here to ice this whole cake, but I'm just going to use some of this just to put here so I can get the other cake piece on top. And I had a spoon. Now I just don't know where it went. Thank you. I'm just putting icing on here. This wasn't a full tub of icing. This was just a little bit that I had left from the other day when I had made the donuts. I guess that was like a week or so ago. So I just wanted to use some of this icing up just so I can sandwich these two cakes together. And this one on top. Right, like that. So now I'm gonna make more icing. Just gotta go wash my hands first, and I gotta make more icing. Okay, so I'm gonna make some more icing. So I've got my icing sugar here. I'm not even gonna measure out how much. I'm just gonna pour quite a bit in here. So it's usually about 2 cups of icing sugar. I don't have a lot left in this container, so I'm just gonna dump most of this container out and save the rest so I can make my other icing for the other cake.
We have a bag of icing sugar.
I'm gonna pour a little bit of milk and turn it on. Good amount of icing here. I'm just going to go and grab the little tool that I need to help spread it to make it easier than the spoon. I have a bunch of these. I love my little cake icing tools. I do have a couple more, I just don't know where they are. So I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to scrape this down. Just make sure that this is all mixed in here good. No loose icing sugar. Make sure it's a good consistency. I don't want it too thick, but I also don't want it too runny. I think it's a little thick, so I'm going to add a little more milk to this, just make it a little easier to spread. Not a lot more milk, just a little splash. That might actually be a little too much. If it's too much, I'll just have to add some more icing sugar. Consistency I wanted. Nice, easier to spread. Just gonna plug this and move it out of my way. Now it's like a milk chocolate kind of a color. And I'm just going to pour it directly on top of the cake and just ice this cake. Then I'm going to put on some nice sprinkles and stuff to decorate this one. I also have still in the fridge, I've got some of the shredded coconut that I had dyed green, so I'm going to be sprinkling that on here as well. What I like is this one here has a smooth side and a knife kind of a side. So as I'm getting this on here, I'm getting really nice lines. I gotta make sure I have enough icing to go down the sides to hide where the two cakes meet. I have seen football shaped cake pans, so I guess if you wanted to use a football shaped cake pan and turn it into an Easter egg, that would probably work, because this kind of looks like the football. So I'm just going to continue icing this, and I'll be back when I get this all iced. Alright, so I've got the cake ice. It looks pretty good. So now I got this green coconut here that I had left over from the other day when I made the donuts. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on top, just wherever it wants to stick. This is one thing, it's hard to decorate round cakes because everything just wants to fall down. I'm just kind of using the spatula and just kind of pressing the coconut in to the cake, kind of where I'd like some of this green to sit. I'm just going to keep adding some green coconut around the cake. And then I do have sprinkles and candies to also decorate this with. So I will be back when I've got all the coconut covered the whole cake. Alright, so now I've got the whole cake covered in the chocolate icing and the green coconut. It's been an hour. So now I'm just going to put this in the fridge to chill, and then I will be back to do the other cake. Alright, so I've got my cross cake here. Now I was going to make this one with the cream cheese icing. So here I've already got my thing of cream cheese is already softened. I'm just starting to mix it up. So to this, I'm just going to add some icing sugar. I don't have a lot of icing sugar left. I thought I had another tub of icing, pre-made icing, and I don't. I also thought I had another bag of icing sugar, and I just couldn't seem to find it tonight. I think I do have one in the pantry somewhere, but I may have already used it up because I know this was full when I was baking before. So I think when I cleared up the pantry, I think maybe I did pour it in here. Before Easter, you know, it's just family, so I'm just making a quick icing with what I've got. Just want to make sure it's not too sweet. It does need more icing sugar. I'm just going to wash my hands. I try not to taste test things too much, but when working with the cream cheese, I really want to make sure I don't over sweeten it or under sweeten it. So I definitely need a little more icing sugar in here. So make sure I've got enough icing sugar for one more thing I'm working on. I do. So this is all my icing sugar I have tonight. Consistency for the icing. So I'm just going to move my pan here. Just going to wipe up this icing sugar I splashed. And I got some crumbs here. I'm just wiping them out of my way. And I'm just going to use this one here. Just going to put a nice, just like I said, this is just the cross. It's very simple. It's just a spice cake mix and a very quick, easy cream cheese icing on top. I just want to make a very simple, easy dessert for Easter. Before I go down the sides, I just want to make sure I have enough to coat the whole top here, because like I said, I'm out of icing sugar completely now. I have no tubs of icing, which I do like to keep on hand, because I do like to bake, and then I usually, you know, run out of stuff sometimes. So I'm just going to ice this whole cake. I think I've got enough to do the sides. Just want, before I dumped anything down the sides, I just want to make sure I have enough so I can do it down the sides. So I'm just going to continue to ice this, and I will be back as soon as I have it all iced. Alright, so here is the crust. I just don't want to lift it up. I'm afraid I might slide off the pan, but there is the cross, and here is the Easter egg. I do have the candy, I just have to go and find it, but I'm going to end my video here. Made the two cakes. Again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribing to my channels and watching my videos. And just to recap, so I made the Easter egg. It was the Devil's Food cake mix with the chocolate icing, and then I dyed the coconut green with food coloring. And This one here is the cross, and it was the spice cake mix, and I made a cream cheese icing. I'm going to see if I have any icing decorating pens, because my son actually works in the bakery, and I'll see if I have any pens and he could write on here for me. I don't know if I have time, but I'm gonna write on the cake, and I'm gonna add some candies on the egg as soon as I can find them. Again, just thanks so much to everybody, and I will see you all in my next videos. Bye.